Can I Not Marry audio web novel chapter 60, Days of Working with the President 2, while Jason was almost scared to death by Lian Jun. Du Lacey on the other hand accidentally met Gossip Queen, Long Xiaohua, and was stunned half to death. I heard that you depended on relations to get in, Long Xiaohua said, staring at Du Lacey. It is someone from the higher-ups. What relationship do you have with him? Tell me a little. Du Lacey made a gloomy expression. There isn't any. Oh, nothing will happen if you disclose a little. Do you have doubts that I will run around the entire company disseminate it? Du Lacey looked at her, her eyes revealed distrust. I didn't doubt you, I'm just certain you would do it. Long Xiaohua poked her tongue out. Don't get angry, I just inadvertently blurted out your name. This you can inadvertently blurt out. How many mouths do you have on your body? Then, why don't I introduce you to our colleagues? Take it as my apology towards you. And, Long Xiaohua blinked her eyes, pretending to be mysterious, our colleagues also really wanted to meet you. Du Lacey didn't know why, but hearing those words coming from her Long Xiaohua mouth just made her, Du Lacey, have an ominous feeling. Indeed, very quickly this ominous feeling became a reality. Hello, Du Lacey. Du Lacey, welcome to the company. Du Lacey. Du Lacey was driven mad. Student Long Xiaohua, just exactly how many people you mentioned my name to? Just when she was incomparably stunned, Su Mali suddenly appeared. Du Lacey, come to my office. I want to change my name. I want to change my name. I would like to change my name. In Du Lacey's mind, she repeated this sentence, then followed Su Mali into her office. Once the door was closed, Su Mali used extremely sharp eyes to scrutinize Du Lacey from top to bottom. Bind by these pair of eyes, for unknown reason Du Lacey nervous and didn't dare to move the slightest. Hair, still not tidy. Su Mali suddenly spoke, shirt haven't been fastened, stockings a little wrinkled, makeup. She stopped, suddenly asked, you didn't wear makeup? Makeup. Du Lacey shook her head. What? You haven't applied makeup and actually dare to come to work? Su Mali stared at Du Lacey as if she was staring at an alien. Is it not right not wear makeup? Of course, not right. Su Mali said as if it was obvious knowledge, as an receptionist, we represent the image of the entire firm, surprisingly you actually wore no makeup. This is an error that cannot be forgiven. Du Lacey, a receptionist need to wear makeup. She thought those who worked at bars, nightclubs needed to. I'll give you 10 minutes, immediately go apply your makeup, and then let Xiaohua take you to the front desk to familiarize yourself with the environment. I said, I'm only give you 10 minutes. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Du Lacey hurriedly ran out. She suspected that after working a long period of time with Su Mali, she'll probably become Super Mali. Why didn't you say Manu Ginobili? Because Du Lacey had no knowledge of applying makeup, she only could seek Long Xiaohua for help. Under her careful guidance, Du Lacey applied a, very pretty and coquettish, makeup. In the end Du Lacey, was stunned. Xiaohua, don't you think I add a mole on my face? I'll look like a certain person. Is it? Xiaohua held her chin deep in thought, then said in a firm tone, seems like Marilyn Monroe. Du Lacey, actually, I want to say I looked like a Maipo one. When this Maipo entered the front desk stage, the responses were remarkable. As Xiao Wang raised her head after making a call, she almost broken the phone. Xiao Wang, this is our new colleague Du Lacey. Du Lacey glared at Long Xiaohua. I have told you I've changed my name. Xiao Wang was suddenly enlightened. I'm very pleased to meet you, very pleased to meet you. Has anyone told Miss Du that you look like a celebrity? Du Lacey's eyes emitted glow. Is it Monroe Marilyn? Sister Dan Lu. I think the author must be referring to Kingdom Yuan's Hong Kong actress comical roles. Du Lacey almost choked on her saliva. You are Ma Wenkai too. Your entire family is Ma Wenkai. As Du Lacey was in the middle of being sad and angered, Long Xiaohua endlessly introduced their work content to her. Let me introduce the front desk task to you. Our work are mainly divided into two categories. First category is advisory reception, mainly answering customers' calls and receiving customers who visits, then making related records. Second category is information management, mainly consolidating and distributing of some documents. Since you are new here, you're not very well familiar with the company, so beginning your work with information management is a good start. Du Lacey nodded and asking her, a new employee to receive customers, the line will likely queue to the toilet yet she wouldn't know how to answer them. Here, this is your first job. Long Xiaohua said, delivering a stack of files into Du Lacey's hands. What is this? These are the recent consumer data. The classification has been completed. As long as you deliver these files to the written departments as stated, then sending them to the appropriate person in charge. This way it also helps you to familiarize yourself with the company's layout, which is helpful for a newcomer like you. This is a good task. Du Lacey held the stack of files and happily went to work. Although Du Lacey usually appeared somewhat dimmed, however once she's put to work she is unequivocal. Very quickly she delivered the files to the destination. According to the information stated, in the end she was left with one file. Staring at it, she became shocked. On the yellow-brownish paper bags, the characters of Office of the President were written. There should only be one president in Lian Enterprise, right? Du Lacey unconsciously wiped her sweat. Her heart felt uneasy as she made her way up the elevator. Although they saw each other often at home, however, this is the first time they met each other in a company setting. What if there's someone in his office? Should she pretend she doesn't know him and quickly deliver the files then leave? If she does things this way, undoubtedly the president will be angry. Du Lacey pondered on the issue for a long time, yet couldn't find an answer. However, the elevator have arrived at her destination. In fact, Du Lacey have been to Lian Jun's office once already when she delivered lunch to him. His office layout was very simple. On this entire floor there was only one office, a large conference room, plus outside the office there was a reception room. Carefully, Du Lacey entered the reception room and found there wasn't anyone sitting in the secretary seat. Lian Jun's office shutters were closed and the door were tightly shut. She walked over and gently knocked on the door. For a long time there were no answer. President Lian, are you there? Du Lacey weakly asked. It was still silent. Could it be the president isn't inside? Du Lacey held the folders in her hands. Like a thief she wildly pushed open the door, happily looking inside. Ha ha ha. Indeed there's no one present. Looks like she was worried for nothing just a moment ago. Then, at the fastest speed she hurriedly flew in, placed the paper bag down, ready to slip away. Suddenly, something on the desk caught her attention. Hey, isn't this the digital photo frame she gifted him? The thing was like this. Before she resigned from her job, there was one time when she received her wages, she and Ji Wushuang agreed to go shopping together. With her hand-earned money, after Du Lacey walked a huge circle in the shopping mall, she come to realization that all the items she could afford the president's home wasn't lack of, everything that she couldn't afford, there was no shortage in the president's home. In this world, the most painful thing isn't the lack of money, it's having the money yet unable to spend it. In the end, Du Lacey decided to use the money to buy the president a gift. After all, ever since their marriage, it seems that she's been freeloading and using him the sugar daddy. As a female of new era, this bad habit from the old society, she must never be accustomed to it. Consequently, under Ji Wushuang's suggestion, she bought Lian Jun a digital photo frame. Because this gift wasn't really that expensive, Du Lacey also felt that she shouldn't gift it to him, so only after a while, she pretended to casually hide the gift away. After discovering it, Lian Jun didn't expose any surprised expression. She estimated these little things couldn't escape the president's discernment. Then, Du Lacey didn't see the photo frame again. Gradually she have forgotten about it. Du Lacey didn't expect to see the photo frame in the president's office. She didn't know why, but she suddenly had a strong sense of curiosity. She wanted to see whose pictures the president would end up inputting. Thus, she quietly entered the office again and carefully picked up the photo frame, secretly turning it on. The first photo was Lian Jun dressed formally, wearing a grey suit, emitting a bearing of an emperor, just staring at her, his glaze in the photo. She felt she was thrown into panic. Hurriedly she clicked to the next photo. This is. Du Lacey froze and was stunned. This should be a scanning of an old photo. The color wasn't very bright, but at one glance Du Lacey could recognize the elegant woman smiling in the picture. Clearly it was the youthful Lian Anna. Standing beside her, beaming and buoyant in spirits, was Xiao Li Shi. And the child within Xiao Li Shi's arms was the president. This is absolutely the first time Du Lacey has seen any of the president's childhood photos. He looks very young. His plump cheeks happily smiled, filled with laughter. This innocent smile was emitted from the heart, perhaps only present during one's youth. Du Lacey didn't know why, but her heart suddenly felt congested. She continues to click next. The next few photos were of Lian Jun with his clients. Then the photo suddenly jumps to the photos they took during their honeymoon in Italy. Du Lacey was in a daze. Her heart suddenly felt pleasantly sweet, so it turns out that she held a certain weight in the president's heart. But she did not expect her weight will be so heavy. All the photos after were their journey in Venice, Rome, the Pantheon and besides the river. Every single photo were of them together, not one were missing from their trip. Du Lacey looked at the photos as if she have traveled back to Rome. Her heart felt a taste of happiness. However, that happiness was short. Happiness can only be maintained for a moment. For example, now, Du Lacey suddenly jumped while staring at the next photo in a daze. This face, where has she seen it before? Taking a closer look, Du Lacey was shocked. The person in the photo had its mouth opened while peacefully asleep. There were drooling leaking out of her mouth. Clearly this is her. At that moment she felt miserable. President, even if you wanted to secretly take photos, you didn't have to take such ugly photos of me. The next few photos were all shots taken secretly. They were all disgusting behaviors. Du Lacey looked until she felt her liver tangled up onto a knot. Her expression became more and more unsightly. She suddenly thought of a phrase: if you want to know whether a person cares about you, all they have to do is bring a camera into the room while you're sleeping. President, you indeed care about our relationship very much. Tat Du Lacey's face had black lines when she placed the digital photo frame down, and then she turned around, bang, hitting someone's chest. All of a sudden she had a feeling that she wanted to cry, to laugh and to pinch that person. Fortunately, she refrained herself. After all, it was her who was peeking at other belongings. It's always a wrong conduct. You came back? Du Lacey guilty asked. Lian Jun nodded. I came back long ago. Du Lacey was embarrassed. She immediately came up with an excuse. I didn't deliberately peek. I just wanted to check the quality of the digital photo frame I gifted you. If the quality isn't good, then I can ask for a refund since I've retained the invoice. Lian Jun glanced at her, and faintly said, since you have checked it, what do you think? Very good, it's very good. Is it? He curved the corners of his lips into a faint smile and his eyes contain a slight ridicule. Seeing this expression, Du Lacey simply wanted to kill herself with one thrust to the head. She could not help but think of the photos he secretly took of her. Obviously he secretly took photos of her first, but why does it appear like she's the one in the wrong? No matter how you assess the situation, she's the victim here. Du, you are so stupid, too naive. Thinking to this point, due to self-protection, Du Lacey consciously burst out, how can you secretly take pictures of me? Lian Jun had an indifference expression as he replied, I openly and honestly took them, it's just that you didn't notice it. I was asleep, how was it possible for me to notice it? Du, you are so clever. Once she said this, Lian Jun suddenly had no way to refute her statement. You haven't nothing to say, right? Du Lacey said proudly. Hush. He made a silent gesture, there's someone coming. Du Lacey was frightened like a fly without its head, scurrying around when suddenly a hand took a hold of her wrist, pulling her back against the smooth wall. What followed were her lips attacked and her body tightly gripped. No. Once she opened her mouth, her actions were just what the other person wanted. Her overflowing sounded like erosion moans, causing one's mind to fall into a reverie. This one kiss have already caused her clothing to be disheveled, her eyes wandered around in a mess. Didn't you say there was someone coming? Du Lacey blushed and weakly asked. I lied to you. Du Lacey, _President, I never thought you would lie. She was ablaze with anger. Her words were unfinished, when she was interrupted by Lian Jun. Do you want to try Officer's X? Du Lacey froze for 2 seconds, and then she finally collapsed. Bang! After the sound of the office door being hit, the wolf within the office cut off all escape route. There was a figure trying to escape while another figure had his lips curved into a wicked smile. Haha, naughty Lian Jun.